Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? This is Joseph Conlon here tonight with your AEW Beach Break review on Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021. The first half, I'm just gonna give you my overall thoughts on the show to start it off. The first half of Beach Break was awesome. The first half of it was awesome. The second half of it, with the Kip Sabian Penelope Ford wedding and the Eddie Kingston Lance Archer lumberjack match, not so great. The main event, however, was fantastic. And we opened the forbidden door between a possible working relationship between AEW, All Elite Wrestling, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm going to say to start off the bat, I am going to say right now, if somehow, and I just literally tweeted this out before I pressed record, I literally tweeted it out about 2 minutes ago. If we can somehow get a working relationship pulled off by AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling, everybody at Stamford, Connecticut, and Vince McMahon himself are all going to shit their pants. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is me. This is me on what I think about all of this. If AEW can get New Japan on their side and they can start working together, then AEW is slowly but surely going to climb and climb and climb, and they're going to get to that spot where people are calling them the number one wrestling promotion in the world, the most and possibly the most popular wrestling promotion in the world. Man, I'm saying it all now, but we're gonna get to it more later on. We're gonna get to it later on in the review. But if you guys haven't already, make sure you go check out my my Royal Rumble review that I filmed from last Sunday. Go check that out. That's over 130 views, so thank you guys for that. And my Monday Night Raw review as well. Make sure you go check that out, which is the latest video. Make sure you guys go check both those videos out. We started off the night with the Tag Team Battle Royal, where the winning tag team would challenge the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team Championships. And if the Young Bucks, if they won, they would pick their opponents for Revolution. I was very confident that they were going to win this match. They did not win this match. In fact, it came down to, I'm not a fan of tag team battle. I'm not a fan of battle royals in general. I just don't like them. It's a complete, everybody's all scrunched up in one place and in the same ring, and you can barely get your spots in. I hate battle royals. I always will and always do. And to the people who might comment, oh, but you enjoy the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is different from a battle royal. It's very different. So, the battle royal came down to Chris Jericho and MJF. Darius Martin of Top Flight, Max Caster, Jungle Boy, and Sammy Guevara. So the fact that they had Max Caster and Darius Martin of Top Flight in there with those guys, it shows you how high AEW really is on Top Flight and the Acclaimed, and that is absolutely awesome because they are two young, talented tag teams that just came on the scene a couple months ago, and you can tell that AEW really likes these two tag teams. I'm very happy that they were in this spot. Jungle Boy was first eliminated by his old rival MJF. He got eliminated by Jungle Boy got eliminated by MJF. Then Max Caster of the Acclaimed tosses over MJF. He tosses him over the top rope. And Sammy Guevara is standing in the background, and he's kind of happy about it. He's happy about everything that MJF got eliminated and all that stuff. And then after that, I believe it was Sammy Guevara who eliminated Max Caster after that. So it came down to Darius Martin, Sammy Guevara, and Chris Jericho. So you got Martin and Sammy Guevara fighting on the outside, and Darius Martin then gave him a drop kick to the knee, but Jericho was going to knock Martin over. He knocked Sammy Guevara over. He knocked his own Inner Circle teammate over the top rope. So we're down to Jericho and we're down to Darius Martin. Martin is standing outside the ring. He looks to jump back in the ring. And I thought Sammy Guevara was going to be like, you know what? I'm so pissed off that Chris just eliminated me. I'm gonna eliminate him, and Top Flight are gonna go on to Revolution. So Darius Martin tries to jump back into the ring. Chris Jericho hits a beautiful Judas effect, and Chris Jericho and MJF are the new number one contenders to the AEW Tag Team Championships. We're gonna get Chris Jericho and MJF against the Young Bucks at Revolution. I didn't know how to feel about this at first because I thought for sure, and I said this before, I thought for sure that the Young Bucks were going to win and they were going to pick to challenge the Good Brothers at Revolution. I thought that was absolutely going to be the outcome of this match. And with the Inner Circle storyline, I thought we were going to get Sammy Guevara versus MJF at the Revolution pay-per-view. Clearly, that's not happening because him and Jericho are challenging for the Tag Team Championships. So, I'm a fan of the match. I think it should be a pretty good tag team match. All four guys are great. Jericho definitely still got it. MJF is a very good wrestler. The Young Bucks, they're the Young Bucks. So I expect this to be a very good tag team match at Revolution. Now, where does this go with the Inner Circle storyline? What is going to happen? I think it's an early prediction, but if I had to predict what's going to happen right now, I'm going to say Sammy Guevara costs Chris Jericho and MJF the Tag Team Championships, and then after the match, he gets kicked out of the group by Chris Jericho and MJF. I think Chris Jericho favors MJF over Sammy Guevara. So that's all of that. Battle Royal was meh. I'm not a big fan of Battle Royals, but I think the tag team title match at Revolution should be a pretty good match. We then got Sting and Darby Allin, and as soon as they could speak a word, Team Taz shows up on the screen, and they were told that they were not allowed in the building tonight, so they had to cut this thing from outside of Daly's place. It was a good promo by Taz, basically hyping up the street fight for Revolution as we're a month away from that match. And I lost my wording. The next week, Darby would be defending the TNT Championship against Joey Janela, which we'll talk about after this segment. And Sting was like, well, I'll make sure you guys don't get involved in the ring, so it's just Darby Allin one-on-one with no outside interference for the TNT Championship. So it was a fine segment overall, trying to get over the TNT Championship match next week, trying to get over the street fight at Revolution, which I think they're doing a pretty good job on so far. But this Joey Janela Darby Allin TNT title match next week, listen, I've wanted to see a Joey Janela Darby Allin match for a very long time. I think they both work the same type of style. They don't care about what they do to themselves. They put their body on the line no matter what. I think these two guys can work very well together, and they're going to have a great match. I think the match is going to be a great match for the TNT Championship. I'm looking forward to it. The issue about all of this is I don't even remember. I really don't even remember the last time Joey Janela was on Dynamite. I think it was against Omega in a non-title match. If I'm correct, yeah, it was against Omega, and him and Sonny Kiss, they are regulars on AEW Dark. So, yes, I get that they want Darby to have a successful title defense and to trying to find a guy that works well with Darby and has good chemistry with him. But Joey Janela hasn't done jack shit to earn a TNT Championship match next week. It's ridiculous. I hate it, but the match should be very good. So that's that. I'm not a fan of Joey Janela being rewarded a TNT title match for absolutely no reason. But the match should be very good. So, and then after that, we had Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa, which was not on the 9:20 slot. This was the second match of the night, and this match was really good. This was a really good women's match. You had Thunder Rosa attacking Britt Baker. She didn't even do her entrance. They were fierce. They were aggressive, fighting on the outside the earlier portion of the match. Then we get to commercial. They start to do their offensive moves on each other. Very good stuff. Then at the end, they have some beautiful roll-ups as Britt Baker, she's looking for the lockjaw, but, Rosa is like rolling around for a different two count, like 1, 2, and then Britt Baker would get up and try to get her back in the lockjaw. It was a really nice sequence, and they both stand up. The referee is trying to break a count, I think, at this point. So Rebel, she comes on the apron, and she tears off the middle turnbuckle. So the middle turnbuckle is exposed, and I think we all knew where this was going. As we saw Thunder Rosa, she hit her head on the middle turnbuckle, and I'm telling you, when I thought she was knocked out, I thought she was knocked out cold. Like, she was laying there and, didn't get back up. And, Britt Baker didn't even get her whole hand in for the lockjaw at the end. So I was very concerned about that spot. Hopefully Thunder Rosa is okay, because that was a very scary moment for me. But Britt Baker won the match. The match was really good, and I think Britt Baker is your next AEW Women's Champion, folks. We have a Women's Championship number one contender tournament coming up in this month, and the winner's the number one contender for Shida. I'm very excited. I don't remember all the names, but I think for the American side, we have like Riho, who's coming back, Serena Deeb, and Ty Conti, Britt Baker, Anna Jay, Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa, and Layla Hirsch. That's the American side. For the Japanese side, I don't remember all the names, but I remember Aja Kong, Yuka Sakazaki, and Ami Sakura. But hey, I think I am very invested in this tournament. I think it's going to be great. It's great exposure for the women of AEW. And I think Britt Baker's taking this. She's taken the number one contendership. She is undoubtedly your next AEW Women's Champion. She is the hottest female wrestler in the world right now, outside of Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. She is the best female wrestler. Not like right now, not overall, but right now, she is at the top of the list for best female wrestlers in the world, and she's the best. She's the best heel. As far as a women's wrestler goes in the pro wrestling industry, she is the best heel. It's not even close. You could debate me on that. Like, I don't even, like I barely maybe, but you couldn't make an argument for Bailey, I guess. But outside of her, Britt Baker's the best heel as a women's wrestler goes in the world right now. So, really good stuff with Thunder Rosa. I was very excited about this match, and it definitely exceeded expectations. Next, we had Adam Hangman Page and Matt Hardy against the tag team of Chaos Project, Serpentico, and Luther. I don't know why I just smiled there, but let me take a sip real quick. Sip my Pepsi. We had a fine tag team match. I'm just going to steamroll this match real quick. Chaos Project got their stuff in. So did Hardy and the Hangman Page. What do you call it? Hangman went for the buckshot on Luther. I don't know why I'm smiling now. That's I don't know. I do that all the time for no reason. It's at the most random times. Luther goes to take out Page on the outside. He misses. I don't know, man. Let me take another sip. Page gets back in the ring, hits a buckshot on Serpentico, but then Matt Hardy tags in. Matt Hardy tags in Hangman Page, and they win. Dude, I don't know why. Honestly, guys, if you're watching this and you're like, what is this kid laughing about? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. But Hardy, he takes the pinfall from Page, and it seems like we're going to get a storyline between them. Maybe having a match at Revolution for something for Hangman to do. I wouldn't mind seeing Matt Hardy put over Hangman Page at all. I'd be in favor of that, actually, if they wanted to go that route at Revolution. But I'm sorry for all the laughter during the match, during talking about this match. Pretty weird, but let's just move on. Just forget about that, hopefully. we had the wedding. We had the wedding between Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. Now, as you all know, weddings in professional wrestling are absolutely god-awful, okay? They are terrible. The latest one with Bobby Lashley and Lana, one of the worst segments I've watched in the history of professional wrestling in my life. That was terrible. That's a night I want to forget. I had very low expectations for this. I'm not saying this was great. I'm not saying this was really good. This was okay at some points. Father James Mitchell was the one in charge of the wedding between Kip and Penelope Ford. He was good. Miro was fine, I guess, but outside of that, it was a typical wedding at first. Like, Vicky Guerrero walked Kip Sabian down the aisle, and then Jerry Lynn walked Penelope Ford down the aisle, who looked gorgeous, of course. And then, they did the whole wedding spiel. They kissed. So I think they officially got married. So congratulations to them. They kissed. They put the rings on each other. So yes, they are married. And then James Mitchell was like, before this wedding's official, what was the line? Does someone in this arena want to speak now or shall not? And then Miro stops him. He's like, I've been through that in past weddings before. We are not going through this again. That's a shot at the last wedding he was in with Lana and Bobby Lashley, which Liv Morgan came. You guys all know that. But then Chuck Taylor, they call him Charles, he showed Miro, look, there's a present right over there. It's a big present. And Miro destroyed the present. He thought Orange Cassidy was probably in that present. But then Chuck goes to the outside. Miro tells him to go pick up the present on the outside. And he goes to do that, but he stays on the outside. He handcuffs Miro's ankle to the lower rope of the ring. So then Chuck goes after Kip Sabian. He attacks Kip. Miro gets him with a couple punches. Then Miro holds Chuck for Kip to punch, and Kip accidentally punches Miro, and Miro's getting all pissed off at him. Then, out of nowhere, I think we all knew this was going to happen. Orange Cassidy punched out of the, he came out of the cake, and he gave Kip Sabian his finisher, and the wedding was ruined. It was okay, but pro wrestling, weddings in professional wrestling need to die. This is it. I've seen enough in my life. I've only seen, I think, 3 weddings. I've seen enough. I hate it. It's unnecessary. It's not called for. I guess it's called for here, but they're terrible. They're always terrible. And out of all the weddings I watched, this was probably the best one, but I'm not even going to go out there and say it was good. Because it was not. It was not that good. It was okay. But weddings need to die in professional wrestling. We're getting Miro and we're going to most likely get Miro versus Orange Cassidy at Revolution. And Chuck is no longer the butler of Miro, and he's back with Orange Cassidy. So that's that. We then saw Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston, and you guys heard my voice. I did not like this at all. I did not like this match at all. You got Lance Archer running in there. They immediately start brawling. They're brawling on all the lumberjacks are there. You got Peter Avalon, the Butcher and the Blade, TH2, Varsity Blondes, Gun Club. You got all of them. They're brawling on the outside with Kingston. Lance Archer jumps on everybody. He takes out the whole field. I did not like it. This match was not good. This match was a complete disaster, and it was very unnecessary. I don't hate lumberjack matches. Okay? If done right and done correctly, and it's still fun, I like lumberjack matches. Just look at Wardlow and Luchasaurus, for example. They had a lumberjack match back in June. That was a great match. That was a great lumberjack match. You only had one spot where all the lumberjacks were brawling with each other and surrounding each other. That was when Luchasaurus did his backflip onto everybody off the stage. Besides that, they did their stuff in the ring. It was a physical match. It was a great match. There was brawling on the outside of the ring. These guys fought inside the ring for like 5 minutes. You had other teams fighting. You had Butcher and Blade setting up tables. Bear Country attacked Butcher and Blade. That was the only positive in this match. Was Bear Country, who is on AEW Dark for those that don't watch Dark. I haven't watched Dark in a while, but I think I saw these guys like once. I don't know if they're signed yet, but getting them exposure is pretty good, I guess. And there'll be another tag team in the tag team division for AEW, but besides that, this was all a complete mess. Lance Archer won with the blackout on Eddie Kingston. And at the end, I didn't even care. I'm just like, just move on to the main event, please. So, that's exactly what happened. Lance Archer won. I did not like this. We got an announcement. We saw a promo earlier. I didn't talk about it earlier. I was going to save it for this time. But earlier, they showed a promo of Shaq talking with the NBA crew. And he was saying he's going to fight the Cupcake Cody Rhodes. And they're like, are you really going to wrestle? He's like, yes, I'm going to wrestle. And he's like, what's your finisher? And he didn't want to close contact with Kenny Smith because he didn't want to touch him and stuff like that. But he said, he's the right tornado. I don't even remember. It was a bad promo, but it was announced. That's not the bigger story, though. But it was announced that we are going to get Shaquille O'Neal and Jade Cargill against Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet. But it is not happening at Revolution. I repeat, it is not happening at Revolution. It is happening on March 3rd, which is the go-home show before Revolution, which I think that is a great idea to put this match on Dynamite and not on pay-per-view. If you put this match on pay-per-view, you're going to give people an excuse to walk away, maybe not want to watch the match and stuff like that. And, this was going to be one of the lower matches that people are at least looking forward to on the card. So, and before I even talk about the main event, with this will get good ratings, I think, because if people hear that Shaq is wrestling on AEW, on TNT, where he originally does his pregame stuff with Charles Barkley and Ernie Johnson and Kenny the Jet Smith, I think people would watch. I really do. I think people would want to tune in and watch Shaq. But at the end of the day, I don't know how the match is going to be, but I'm happy it's on Dynamite and it's not on pay-per-view. That match does not deserve to be on Revolution. But for next week's Dynamite, like I said earlier, we're getting Darby Allin versus Joey Janela for the TNT Championship. We're getting Chris Jericho and MJF against the Acclaimed. And then we're getting Cody Rhodes teaming up with Lee Johnson to face Pretty Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi, if you guys remember him from NXT. Random as hell tag team match, but whatever. It's not the most interesting Dynamite card. It's going to look like the show from 2 weeks ago, I guess, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's talk about this main event, though. This was probably the only good thing in the second hour, if I'm going to be honest with you. Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers against Jon Moxley, Pac, and Rey Fenix. Omega and the Good Brothers had their own trio theme song. I got panicked because I'm like, oh my god, have they taken away Battle Cry from Kenny Omega? And then I thought to myself, no, they're just doing the trios theme song for these guys. It's all good. He's going to have his theme back. So that's probably the case. And then you have Pac and Rey Fenix doing their entrance. But they walked out the same door as Jon Moxley did. And they all walked down together. And then the match started. This match, guys, was fantastic. If you put this match on a pay-per-view, it would still been great. This was fantastic. This was a pay-per-view worthy match for AEW. Fast-paced, non-stop. They continued the Moxley-Omega feud in this match. You got flashbacks from the Pac and Omega Iron Man match. And then, of course, you got Kenny Omega and Rey Fenix going at it once again. This was an all-out brawl for 15 minutes. And I would definitely go watch this match if you guys haven't already. I knew this was going to be a great match. Because all 6 of these guys, they're excellent workers. They are all great at what they do. And they went above, in my opinion. They went above expectations, and they put on a show for us. Rey Fenix is just like a goddamn magician in the ring. And I can't even go over the match move for move with you guys because it was just too much to remember in your head because they were moving fast and nonstop, but it was awesome. So, my advice to you about this match, if you haven't already, go out and check it. Go take 20 minutes out of your day and watch this 6-man tag. You will not regret it. But the Good Brothers pinned Rey Fenix at the end. I think it was Gallows that pinned Rey Fenix with the Magic Killer. Then after the match, they continued to attack Moxley. And Moxley fought them off, fought Gallows off, fought off Anderson, got Kenny Omega away. Then he gets attacked from a guy in a hoodie with a mask on. He takes off the hoodie. He takes off the mask. Kenta has showed up to Daly's place. And Kenta, the #1 contender for the IWGP United States Championship, shows up and he attacks Jon Moxley. This is awesome. I love how Tony Khan was able to get Kenta on the show to further their feud that's going on over on New Japan Pro Wrestling. I loved that. And it opens the forbidden door between AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling, which would be absolutely huge. Because you could get a couple singles guys to go over to New Japan and wrestle for them. And in my opinion, You can get tag teams to go over there, to go over to New Japan and wrestle in their tag team divisions. And I know that the New Japan, like, I don't watch them on a daily basis, but I know they got God, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa over there. They got Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi over there. Who else do they got? I don't even remember because I haven't watched New Japan in a while. But if you're AEW and you're working with New Japan, I would send over, not a lot of tag teams, but I'd send over a couple tag teams over there. You can get Private Party over there. You can get SCU over there for some experience. You can get the Dark Order over there. And you can make their tag team division over at New Japan, just like AEW's tag team division. I think if we get a relationship between AEW and New Japan, you can put Impact in there as well. Because, we see Private Party on Impact. We see Good Brothers on AEW. You can put Impact in this as well. If we get AEW, New Japan, and Impact, they're taking over the business. They're taking over pro wrestling, I'm telling you right now. Those three brands are going to take over pro wrestling on their own, and they're going to overshadow the top, which is WWE. So this is very exciting stuff. This was a fantastic main event and a great post-match attack by Kenta to Moxley. And that match on February 26th, boy, that is going to be hard hitting. But ladies and gentlemen, we are getting out of here today on the Dynamite review. 36 minutes now, about to be over 37 minutes. Wow, what a review. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. If you haven't already, hit the damn subscribe button, man. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any content here on the channel. We're going to have a lot of wrestling content for the month of February, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Comment down below your thoughts on tonight's AEW Beach Break show. I want to know your thoughts down below. Hit that like button if you like what you heard from me in the video tonight. And go follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. And I will see you guys tomorrow for your Super Bowl predictions right here on the Big Fight Field channel. If I decide to film it earlier in the day, I know a lot of people have work and stuff like that. So what I might do is set it to a premiere, maybe like around 5 o'clock, 4:30 tomorrow. I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter. But you guys have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy.